I would like you to come down and see me because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth.
This one's going to be a quick one. It's going to just covering a little bit of issues that are going back and forth between two other YouTubers. So apparently Jeff Nadu has made another enemy, Sammy Gravano. John Olivia, your host of Serious and Silliness Outcast, bringing you the best interviews and coverage of true crime, porno stars, TV stars, reality show hosts, and all kinds of crazy people that don't fit well into normal society. Anyway, I don't know why people don't like Jeff Nadu so much. I mean, I don't have a problem with the guy. He seems to be a good dude to me. There are people out there that say he gets information wrong, but that's no reason to hate him. I don't know what he said about Sammy Gravano, but it can't be anything that drastic. I know Jeff, he wouldn't say anything that terrible. He might have repeated a story or a rumor he heard about him and said it on his channel. And Sammy had some choice words for him. So why don't we just check it out? I'm going to share the choice words that Sammy Gravano had for Jeff Nadu because this is just classic.
Jeff, I got to say this, but I bothers me.
I know.
He's a good kid.
Yep.
He's a good kid, and that's the way you want to talk about him. He's one of my kids. He's on my show. I'm going to tell you something, Jeff. I would like you to come down and see me because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth wide open. I'm going to put you on your fucking knees, and I'm going to make you suck my dick. Don't with this kid. Stop, you shut your fucking mouth. Be a fucking man. You want to be a man? Don't with him. Come and with me. Come. This fucking bum.
Yeah.
You want to knock girls who are working for me. You want to knock this fucking kid for no fucking reason. You want to knock me, knock me. You want to do something, come down. Knock my brains in. Come on. I'm sick of this fucking bum.
All right, here's the best part. I didn't read the comments. Look. It says, what's he going to do? Gum the guy to death? From Peter X. Burke. Is it because your last guest called him out on being a rat and suggesting Sammy was involved with the wire in the apartment above the Ravenite? First of all, it is not news that Sammy is a rat. Everybody knows this, that they turned state's evidence against John Gotti and God knows how many other people. This is not news. Why does he want to put his pee-pee in Jeff's mouth? Why does he want to have Jeff perform fellatio on him, though? That's the funny part. Oh, God. I mean, this is, all right. This is the stupidest shit. I was on Andrea Giovino's show, and I talked about things like this. It should be coming out soon. We filmed it in 3 parts, so it's kind of a 3-part series. And I said in the interview, and when you know, she'll send it to me, and I'll post some of it on my Instagram and whatnot. But I said, I understand the true crime, and I understand the obsession with true crime. I understand the obsession with mafia, with the biker life, the drug dealers. It is very, very intriguing, especially for men, because men are intrigued with corruption of power and fame and violence. That's our instinct. We just love it, right? But to argue between two YouTubers, you know nothing's gonna happen. It is the stupidest, it is the dumbest shit on Instagram. It is ridiculous. It is so stupid. And out of all the threats that you could have given him, you could have said, why did Sammy? I mean, Jeff said it. Why is it always gay with you? I mean, look, man, I don't know Sammy Gravano. I come from the same neighborhood, but you know, he's much older than me. So I didn't know anybody he was around or anything like that. But I don't know if that's just he's trying to drum up drama because Jeff has like a big show and trying to, like maybe he saw what John Elite was going through with Jeff and they were kind of going back and forth. And then Sammy decided, oh, nobody's talking about me. Let me drum up some drama. I don't know. I also don't know what he's talking about where he said, you want to knock this girl or you want to knock this guy. If anybody knows, leave it in the comment section. But honestly, this is at least Jake Paul gets in the ring. Like, at least there are YouTubers that actually fight. All right. This is the stupidest shit. And why would you why would you threaten somebody? First of all, as a YouTuber, you that's a huge strike. That's a huge no-no. Like, I don't know if they could take your channel down, but they could definitely demonetize you. They could definitely suspend you, so on and so forth. If Jeff were the type of guy that would actually, notify YouTube. That's number one. The second thing is, why would you threaten somebody and you were convicted of, I don't even know how many murders in a RICO or an organized crime, and then went back to prison for I believe it was drugs. I think it was ecstasy. I mean, I'm hoping it's an act, because it's 79 years old, and seeing what this guy has been through his entire life, all the experiences throughout his entire life, you would think that if somebody said something that bothered him that bad, he would know to ignore it. And to me, that's what differentiates the great YouTubers from the not so great YouTubers. The YouTubers that are really at the top, the Joe Rogans, the Patrick Ben-Davids, the Valuetainments, you never hear them discuss what somebody else talked about. They ignore it. They completely ignore it. They're kind of better than that. And then you have like these YouTubers, and listen, I'm included. I have no problem getting involved in a confrontation on YouTube, right? Believe me, I'm one of those guys. But Sammy has 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. He doesn't have to do this. He's 79 years old. He's making a good living on YouTube. People pay him to go on interviews, but there seems to be there is this griminess that goes on in the YouTube world, and Sammy seems to just fit right in. Look, I'm just going to give my purest opinion. Okay, there are guys that came out of organized crime and established themselves outside of organized crime, and they were able to do it with some dignity and class. And Michael Franzese obviously is one of them. Larry Mazza, who I respect greatly, is one of them. And then you have thugs, and you just have thugs. And my personal opinion is Sam is just a thug, and he always is, always will be. That's who he is. He's never going to change. He's probably going to threaten somebody on his deathbed, right? And in his head, he probably still believes that he can and would do damage to another person if you poke the bear too much. These guys that are violent through tendencies, I don't think it ever goes away. I think it's just controlled. It's kind of like a pilot light, and they have to control it. But if you throw gasoline on the pilot light, it's going to explode. And I really believe that, there are only a handful of people that come out of prison and really, really change their ways. I think the majority of people just are able to control themselves and say, all right, this isn't worth it anymore. When I interviewed John Elite, that's what he said. I asked him, how do you control yourself? How do you go about your life without reverting back to what you used to do? And he said, it's one day at a time. It's like being an addict. You take it one day at a time. Okay, I didn't do this today. Tomorrow will be another good day. I had a good day today, so on and so forth. And I personally think that person that Sammy was 40 years ago, 50 years ago, is still inside him, except that he's just older, more mature. There's no more mafia left, or whatever's left is a fraction of what's left. And I think, I think a leopard doesn't change his spots. And I think he really means it when he says, I'll bust your mouth open, or whatever the case may be. I think it's absolutely ridiculous YouTube stuff. But the flip side is, he's got me talking about it. If he didn't respond, I wouldn't be talking about it. I just don't understand why he's got to take the gay angle. Like, if I was really angry at a person, the last thing I'd want him to do is perform fellatio on me. That'd be the last thing I want a person to do that I was angry at. He wanted to break his face and then have him perform fellatio. So he had a broken jaw. It's this whole thing is stupid. This whole thing is fucking ridiculous, man. The whole object is the whole YouTube mafia genre back and forth with, Sammy Gravano and the guy from Jersey, what's his name? Joey Merlino, and the back and forth, and the Gene Borello stuff, and John Elite and Jeff Nadu. It's fucking ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid that it just baffles me. Nobody's going to do anything. Nobody's going to touch anybody. So it's got to be just for It's like watching the Jersey Housewives, for Christ's sake. I had to sit through the Jersey Housewives because I'll be interviewing Frank Catania, who's on the show. I'll be interviewing him tomorrow. This is unreal. But listen, I know, Sammy, you're not going to watch this. I know you don't know who I am, and I'm not as big as Jeff Nadu, or obviously I was never around you, but you're better than that, man. I mean, you're like Sammy Gravano. Like in Bensonhurst, you were like the king. It was ridiculous. It was insane. You're better than that. You don't have to threaten anybody for that and do it. I don't know, man. It's just cringy. It's just cringy shit. Ugh. I don't know. Like and subscribe. Later, people. Peace.